exhaust, except for the fact that when we got it to the exhaust place, the first question that they ask you is, does it leak fuel? And as soon as I say, hey, no, it definitely doesn't leak fuel, fuel is basically just steady stream right out of it. Got it to stop, cleaned it up, and he finished the job. The exhaust setup on this is 2.5 inch with an H pipe and 2 Borla Pro XS mufflers, and then straight out the back. Now that the car is actually quiet and you can hear other things, let me show you what I found. So that means the intake has to come off, which sucks. Clearly the car would run a whole lot better with those things fixed. So anyway, I got something else that's pretty cool that I'm working on in the meantime. So let's take a look at what that is. A lot of people have issues with their quadrajets. They also get the really cute nickname Quadrajunk, but they're not a bad carburetor. Especially on Pontiacs, they work really well. So what I noticed though, these secondaries were opening really, really fast. There's just no tension. To adjust the tension, you would loosen this with an Allen, then you would twist that, and then you'd retighten it. But as you can see, maybe, the spring's not even attached to anything. That's what we need to fix. And hopefully we'll get this back on and we'll see if it runs right. See how this spring goes whoop? I'm trying to get that bent up around this pen better. Around. Ooh, I got it a little better. All right, am I super confident? No. So we need to put our set screw back in there. So that's gonna be our tension setting, and that is gonna lock it in place. See? Now we have some adequate tension on that thing.
It's gotta be very cool.
Yeah, if this is the only issue. I think that's everything.
Alright.
Ready?
Yeah.
Dang it, sorry. Well, at least while we're here, we will see if the accelerator pump's even working. So the accelerator pump, this guy right here, if it's not working, you won't see 2 jets of fuel. See the jet of fuel right there on both sides. So it is working, so it's not that. What else could it be? God, everything's so tight. Choke unhooked right now, so it doesn't want to idle. But it's not the typical quadrajet bog. It's something else. Hot fuel. Okay, well, that didn't go exactly how I thought it was gonna go. So what we're gonna do is just pull this thing apart. It's hard to see, you probably can't see it, but they're stamped right here. This says CP. See how tiny? Now we just need to get this pin. There we go. Gotta maneuver this little linkage bit down in there, out the way. There we go. See all the dangly bits? Yeah. You got your power valve. Got your float hanger. And then your needle. Don't want to lose that. This is the accelerator pump out of my carburetor. This guy looks a little different. And one thing that I noticed, and I don't know, it doesn't have the expansion spring right there, that thing that keeps the cup you know, open. Also something that I see, can you tell how flat the tip is on this versus this one? I just put it back together with a newer style accelerator pump, that one that I showed you. And I also put that needle in here. But other than that, I just put it right back together, basically as it was. I cleaned it up. I didn't show all that because I don't think that's the problem. It was a problem, but I don't think that is the problem. I just have this sneaking suspicion that it's actually spark related somehow. It's either the distributor, plugs, I mean, definitely could be an issue. I'm gonna toss this thing on here. I'm not gonna bore you with that. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Abracadabra. There we go. So let's try and start it and see if anything changed. I think it's just gonna be the same. So I'm gonna set you down, you watch, while I crank it over, see if you notice anything weird. Okay, keep your eyes open. Oh, it's leaking. Fantastic. Well, that's got to come back off, so neat. But it sounded like it was still bogging. The problem is the float height, you have to take the carburetor back off. It's not as simple. Let's check it again. So I'm gonna pull that off, adjust the float height, and it kind of sounded like it was better there for just a second. I know it's still cold, but it sounded like it was idling on all 8, which is weird. It's just by mistake setting the float height just a little too high, so it's backing up in here. I'll set it down just a little bit. But I'm hoping that what I did to the carb, which, gotta be honest with you, it wasn't that much, but I'm hoping the little things that I did do, clean it all up, replace that needle, the power valve, oh, sorry, not the power valve, the accelerator pump, those things I'm hoping were at least the majority of the issue. We're still gonna hook the timing light up to it. It wouldn't surprise me, is all I'm saying, is that if this is in fact a combination of a couple of those things. Okay, got it all back apart. The annoying bits are just a couple of pieces of the linkage. And I did find out that it's way easier when you're reassembling to take the stud out. So here is where we need to be, and there's a lot of fuel in here, as you can see, and I might get some leak out. I try to avoid that as much as possible, but I don't think it's gonna happen. The float height must be too high. To adjust the float height, it's literally that. So set it on something flat and do it. There is a measurement for this. So you measure it with the needle and the hanger. So this needle hangs right here. I accidentally had the hanger on backwards. Sorry, guys. So anyway, how you would adjust this is you would let that needle seat like that, then you would measure 1/4 inch to 3/16, depending on your application. The interesting thing and potentially annoying thing about quadrajets is they're all basically application specific. Oh, by the way, make sure you get your power valve gasket seated. Get this guy where it needs to go. There we go. Get it lined up on your dowels. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. And then get this gently shoved down. Perfect. So yeah, it's a balancing act here. So that's why it's easier to take the stud off and then try and do it this way. It's still not exactly easy. I'll pull up while I get the accelerator pump in place, and then I will line up. Oh, it came off. See what I mean? Let me come back to you once I do this. It's about just lining things up, getting them in their holes, and not making jokes about that. All right, I held a position so you can see the moment that, hopefully, gotten everything lined up. Oh, good, that fell off. The tricky, annoying part is this guy, that I have a hold of right now. That's the annoying bit. And that's just because it keeps falling off no matter what you do. And in order to not get it to fall off, you sort of have to have multiple hands doing different things at the same time. And then once you get it, like that, that needs to go back on. This thing's so small. If I drop it in there, I will say a handful of curse words. Come on. Come on. Okay, got it. Whew! That's the hardest part of this whole thing. What am I doing? Getting ahead of myself here. So let's put some screws back in. We gotta put the secondary metering rods. Just let them dangle. They'll go where they're supposed to go, basically by themselves once you get it started. The screw. You know, I didn't show you all this stuff before because I had a gut feeling that I'd probably be taking it on and off a couple times. I am not an expert. If you are looking to me for expert advice, you are looking to the wrong person. I'm here mainly for you to make fun of. Okay, it's back on. Let's see if we got a leak. Fire right up. I think so far so good. I'm gonna let it sit here and idle for just a minute, and then we're gonna jump to timing. I had a sneaking suspicion that wasn't gonna be it, but at least we did it. I got the timing adjusted a little bit, and it's running better. It's still not right. I don't have a whole lot of time to do it today, but I'm gonna show you where we're at. So next time, we'll pick up where we left off. So clearly that wasn't the only thing that's wrong with this car. You have a sneaking suspicion it's probably somewhere down in the distributor itself, the points, just everything, just from sitting. We'll come back to this one. It finally came, dang near a month. Now we'll get back on the Trans Am to see if we can get this fixed. I'm gonna spare you all the unbolting, and then I'll bring you back when I'm about to pull this stupid thing off. Okay. Let's see if I can even get it without breaking through somewhere here. Oh, that wasn't too bad. This is the part that my shoulder's not really looking forward to, so I'm gonna try mostly with my right hand here, but... There we go. Okay. Ouch, that hurts. But I already know the problem. But let me show you the witness marks, so if you ever see anything like this, you'll know what you're looking at. Can you see the exhaust burning? Well, that's obviously a clear indicator that, well, that was an exhaust leak. And most likely, you know, I had other leaks going on here too. This side, no issue. Before I start cleaning this up, you can get a better look at how this would go back together. So you set the intake in, this bolt, you tighten that, it pulls it in, and then you can carry on to tightening up the rest of the bolts for the intake. So my little swimming pool here, splishy splishy. So get this cleaned up, and then we'll get to prepping all of this surface. Fun, fun, fun. This probably won't matter much, but this I can almost catch, not quite, with my nail. Ideally, I'd, you know, take those to the machine shop, but well, we're just not gonna do that. I did opt for the thicker gasket though, so it should compress a bit more and should take care of that. All right, to set these guys in here. Oh shoot, don't do that. Try not to slip and slide it around. All right, ready? 1, 2, 5. I don't wanna slide it around. All right, I did give it some time to skin up, but we gotta draw it forward to make contact right here first, then start running our bolts down. I'm gonna get this stuff all put back together. It's pretty boring, and then we'll see if it actually runs. Oh, you know what? We may be out of gas. I forgot. difference. The throttle response, like, significant. So I can only imagine how this car is going to run now. But you can hear how it's idling. I think we have a leak again somewhere. It could be something simple though. Just from the dry revving here, it's way more responsive. So I can only imagine how that translates out there. Yeah, I'll call it a win. Anyway, let's get back on the 71 formula. See if we can get that thing running right.